feel very fiery today. Just a lot of very general, not really particularly directed anywhere anger in my heart today, and I don't really know how to explain it. It's just the case, man.
Anger?
Anger. I feel the rage in my heart and soul.
Anger towards what?
Nothing in particular. Were you even listening to what I just said? It's just life, I guess. I don't know, man. It's just sometimes you're in a rageful mood. And I feel like that's the mood I was put in today. Maybe it's because I had to vacuum, and I don't like doing that. I don't know. I'm just positing. I'm sure that's not the only cause, but I'm just trying to
Well,
parse
you see,
what.
I know you and Trash don't really get along very well.
Yes,
So
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck, you made me lose my train of thought with your cute little zinger. You fuck. Um, shit. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying to identify the things that are different about today versus other days. I did have to fucking vacuum the carpet in a room at work. Work has been tenuous lately. I don't want to complain in any specifics, just in case somebody happens upon this. My podcasts are no secret. But I've just been generally annoyed. And today in particular, I think I've been at kind of a low. It started as like a real low, and then it turned from like weird sadness to just like a general feeling of rage. It's not even like potent, like really hateful rage. It's just like maybe it's just a lot of energy, and I just want to like yell at things. Is more what it is.
dude, I'm so fucking tired today.
Are
The
you?
week that I've had has just been fucking me over every single day I wake up.
Do you would that include Tuesday morning by any chance?
Tuesday morning?
Yeah, what happened on Tuesday morning, Alex? It was not Tuesday morning, was it? I know it was Tuesday morning, right?
Dude, I don't know what day of the week it was.
I believe it was Tuesday morning, if I correctly
Oh,
recall. Oh yeah, yeah, because it's the first.
Tuesday sounds right.
It's the first, so it was the 29th yesterday, 28th, and then there's 27th Pokemon Day. It was Tuesday. Correct. Welcome to Detour Head, by the way. I'm Riely. Here's Alex.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy. Howdy ho.
Oh, Riley, what are we talking about today?
Alex, we're talking about Pokemon. Okay?
Pokemon 7 or
Talking
8.
about
I don't
fucking
remember what number
Pokemon.
we're on right now.
So, funny story about that. So, apparently I fucked up at some point. I didn't realize this until I was putting together the supercut that I put up on the Pokemon Variety Hour feed of our Pokemon episodes. I realized that I had been numbering them, but there was one Pokemon themed episode that I just did not include in that numbering scheme. Even though other Pokemon episodes that were not just Pokemon blank were included in that number. So it was kind of strange. The starter Pokemon tier list is not included in the numbering system. And also not included in Supercut because I didn't remember that it existed until I was looking for the dates to put at the bottom of the
I
Supercut.
feel like that's different, though. I feel like that's different. I feel like that can be an exception.
That's fair.
Because Pokemon and then the respective number of how many times we've talked about it. The starters are a different thing because we're ranking them
Yes,
on
but
a
I think
tier
I
list.
think like Pokemon and Pokemon 2 were like competitive Pokemon and some other sub Pokemon topic, like, and they became included in that number system once I was like, it's kind of funny how often we're talking about Pokemon, so I just started calling them Pokemon 4, Pokemon 5. So it seems like it would fit within that criteria, but I guess it just didn't occur to me.
That's fine.
So this is
Just
this is
go
this is
back and edit the feed to call it Pokemon 3.5 or something like that. I don't know.
I'll just leave that one how it is. So this is our 8th Pokemon related episode, but it's also Pokemon 7.
Got it. So I was on the money. 7, 8.
Yep. It is Pokemon 7. That's its official title. Pokemon 7. Revenge of the Clement.
Man, if only it was Pokemon 6. Would be
Oh,
a great. Yeah.
oh, I see.
Really. Did I not hypothetically say in our off air conversation that turned into an argument
Yeah.
how pissed my exact quote was, how pissed would you be if they skip 2 and 5 and go straight to 6?
And what did I say?
That you'd be happy about it.
They made the game for me. I won. I win. I win,
Didn't-
Pokemon. They made the game for me specifically. They said, hey, that Riely kid down in Florida, I almost said the city I was in, down in Florida, that kid, we're making the game for him. We know exactly what he wants, and we're making that game. Well, this is our new strategy. This guy, this man is the perfect Pokemon fan. So we're gonna make the game that we know he exactly wants, and that's what they did.
Riley, I'll give you 2 options of where you arrive at a path. There are
Sure.
2. You arrive at a fork in the road. There are 2 paths to take. One that could lead in a good conversation. 2 might kill the conversation immediately. Which path do you take?
Let's kill the conversation immediately.
Who's in Paris?
What do you mean by who's in Paris?
Who's in Paris?
French people?
Megas in Paris.
Oh.
Within L. I have to clarify just in case. Megas in Paris. It's a funny joke. It's my favorite fucking meme to come out of this.
Wait. What is that joke? I don't get it. Megas in Paris?
Yeah, the Kanye West song.
Is there a song? Oh. That's a little bit of a stretch.
Not really, if you think about it.
I feel like Paris versus Paradise is a little bit of a stretch.
It's not Paradise, buddy. Do I have to send you the song?
Isn't it called N-Words in
You know what I'm
Paradise?
talking about.
Isn't the
Paris.
song you're referring to N-Words in Paradise?
It's in Paris.
Is it?
Yes. That's
Am
why
I
it's
getting
a
it confused with another? There's definitely a song called N-Words in Paradise.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of music you listen to.
Google N-Words in Paradise right now.
No.
God damn it. You're supposed to yes and me, Alex. This is a fucking improv podcast.
Yeah, well, I just said no.
Bitch.
I didn't even instead you either. I just flat out no. I didn't even
no
instead.
End of.
No end of.
At least with a no instead, you're continuing to fill the air. You just hit me with a no. End. Cease.
Cease. Anyway, Pokemon Legends ZA was just announced on Tuesday.
They did it, boys. They did it. And I would just like to apologize to the community. I could really use some Titanic on recorder right now. Maybe I'll throw that in and I'll mix the volume correctly this time, but I doubt I will go through the effort. I would like to apologize to the whole world for not figuring out what the name of the game was right away. I was but a fool, but a young bab looking at a game for the first time, not really being so filled with emotion and passion that I didn't quite grasp what I was looking at, and I definitely thought the game was called Pokemon Legends Z minus and didn't even acknowledge the A was in there for when I did the reaction stream with Andrew the morning it happened, and I would like to apologize for that because it's very obviously ZA, and of course it's fucking ZA, and I know exactly what the game's going to be about now because it's ZA. So I'm sorry that I didn't see before because it should have been obvious.
That's okay. Everybody's allowed to be stupid sometimes. Just some more than others.
Listen, I'm never stupid. Except for the time I just described. That was my first and only. My one stupid.
Some more than others.
You're right.
But Pokemon Legends ZA was announced. We're going back to Kalos. We got Mega Evolutions back. They confirmed it.
Yep, they showed us
Now,
that little Mega
I'm
logo
gonna
tease, that fucking Marvel post-credit scene of Mega Evolution.
I can't believe Megas are coming back. I can't believe it. We've been
I'm
asking.
honestly, I thought they were fucked because I felt like they kind of dug themselves into a corner on Sun and Moon. I think they did this on purpose. Now that I think about it, I think those motherfuckers knew exactly what they were doing. They did this on purpose because they knew that people were going to be pissed they were getting rid of Megas. So here's what they did. And here's why I will always feel weird about Megas forever, because I'm too autistically invested in the lore. Because they decided to write fucking Pokedex entries for Megas in Gen 7, and they're all like, Mega Evolving hurts these Pokemon terribly, actually. And it's like, oh, I didn't know that information is new and concerning. So I'm very interested to see if they address that at all, because they kind of just threw that at us under the radar in Sun and Moon, and it's always kind of freaked me out ever since. And I think those motherfuckers did it on purpose because they knew if they could fuck with people's brains and be like Mega Evolution was bad for the Pokemon. Actually, the people who are actually emotionally invested in like the lore of the game might be like, okay, maybe Mega Evolution doesn't need to be there, so it'll soften the blow a little bit when they hit us with not having it anymore. So now that we've bitched at them for 3 generations and they're giving it back, I'm interested to see if they address that lore point at all in this game.
Possibly. So the one thing I would like to start this conversation off with, or continue conversation, I don't know. Do you think that we're gonna get a Mega Charizard Z?
You see, unfortunately, yes, because I will explain to you why I've come to that conclusion. It's because I was about to try to on the fly think of a funny thing to agree to do if it happened, but I immediately pushed out of that because I was like, "Oh God, wait a minute, this is more of a possibility than I'm giving it credit for." Yeah, I think we might.
It's Charizard. It's Charizard, right? Like Charizard gets
Do you think
fucking everything.
so? If they do the same Legends formula in that they pick 3 starters from a smattering of other generations, do you think Charmander's gonna be one of the starters and get a Z form?
No.
No, you don't think so?
I don't think that they're going to intrude. Like, I don't.
I
Any
think
Pokemon that currently has a Mega Evolution, like in the starters, I don't think is going to be one of the starters we get.
no.
Because I don't want. I
I
don't
like where
think
you're.
they're going to make exclusive. I don't think they're going to make it exclusive Mega Evolutions for the game. Because that would be kind of fucked.
Wait, what?
Mega Evolutions that can only happen in Legend Z.
You don't think they're gonna make new Mega Evolutions?
No, I know they're going to make new ones. And I'm sure they'll
What the
incorporate
fuck
them
are you
into
talking
whatever game
about?
comes later. I don't think they're going to give a Mega Evolution to Charizard Z, but have it be a Kalosian Charizard or something like that.
They're not gonna do well. Oh yeah, I guess they did all have those fucking forms, but that's different. I don't know.
It's a Legends game. Of course they're going to continue that.
It's
Everybody
a
loves
Legends
all the
game,
Hisuian
sure. No,
forms.
yeah, everybody loves the Suian forms, but they're also bringing back Megas. So I feel like what I was expecting, I didn't even think about the Hisuian forms because what my mind immediately expected is they're gonna do a set of 3 starters, and it's going to be 2 starters who have never received a Mega Evolution before, and Charizard. And the 2 starters are going to get new ones, and Charizard is going to get a 3rd one.
That makes sense, but I'm still thinking that they're going to do I don't know, because they said it was set in the Kalos region, not an ancient Kalos region, like Hisui versus Sinnoh.
Not well, I guess not ancient per se, but it does seem to be in the far in the past enough that Lumio City is just now being developed into what we see it as in X and Y.
See, that's the other thing, is like, it has been confirmed, it's set all within Lumio City.
Which is just the thanks guys, thanks Pokemon fans. It really, every time a new thing happens, it always comes with a deluge of all the fucking retarded Pokemon redditors just talking shit. And this whole entirely within Lumio City thing has been the newest subject of that fucking brain dead level of discourse that only the greater Pokemon community could bring us. This is why I appreciate the sub community of Pokemon Nuzlockers, because I feel like we have created Pokemon Nuzlockers and slash or Pokemon podcasters, where we've sequestered our part of the Pokemon community, I think, into a greater subgenre that is mostly separate from all the shittiness in the greater Pokemon community. Because, oh man, a lot of those people are so fucking slope brained. And they're really coming out of the woodwork on this one, folks. Cities are really fucking big if you want them to be, you fucking idiot. The only reason they're not in Pokemon is because they're putting an entire country in the game. So if they're going to put the whole game in one city, that city is going to be fucking massive. Think about a Grand Theft Auto city, not a fucking Pokemon city. The game is not going to be 30 minutes long, you fucking idiots.
Imagine they put out a game, they tease it for over a year. You buy it for $70 and it's just Minecraft, but Pokemon. There's no Pokemon in the game. They're just like kind of in the background and they're like, go chop down this tree, get some wood, we're gonna build this house over here.
That would be pretty funny. I would also like to point out that I definitely just gave a shout out to this nice little Pokemon podcaster and Nuzlocker community I found myself in. Within the same rant that I said a slur that 85% of them would probably hate me for saying. I know that I did that, and that's just how my life goes, baby. That's just how it be.
What slur?
I said the R word.
That's not that bad. YouTube doesn't care.
YouTube doesn't care, but the happy little Pokemon communities I'm in kind of do.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's all jokes, everybody. We love retarded.
We like jokes. I was just gonna say we like jokes. That's it. That's all. It's just jokes. We like jokes.
We do like jokes. We like jokes very much, as I just demonstrated with that joke I made. But shit, man. It sucks that we got like almost nothing about this game. Like they gave us like the tiniest little morsel of a teaser where they're just like, "Hey, here's this game, Lumio City Mega Evolution. See you in 2025."
So I'm going back to the starters thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find what I texted Penguin real quick because I want this on air, on record, but before the starters get announced, and I hope that it's right. Where is it? We talked for a while. I have to go. Do. All right, I'm really hoping this is right. One of them does have a Mega Evolution, so I don't know, but it wasn't introduced until ORAS. So, my prediction for the starters.
If you say Torchic, you're slow brained.
Why?
Because Mega Blaziken was introduced in X and Y, idiot. He's the only one who was.
Was he?
Swampert and Sceptile were introduced in ORAS. Blaziken was introduced in X and Y.
That's so dumb.
Yep. We got. You don't remember? That was the. That was
Dude,
like the
X and
early.
Y
That was
was
the.
over a decade ago.
Yeah, that was the early release mystery gift Pokemon, like that fucking Munchlax was for either Scarlet and Violet or Sword and Shield. I don't remember which one. If you got the game, like Gigantamax Meowth, I think was this way, where like if you got the game by like within the first couple of months, you could do mystery gifts and you would get a Torchic and with a Blazikenite, and it was like a cool thing that you could get if you were an early adopter of the game.
Anyway, I'm thinking Piplup, Grookey, and Torchic. That the Piplup and Grookey are for sure. Torchic, it's either Torchic or probably Tepig.
I saw an interesting. I saw a prediction on Facebook. I'm in a couple like random Pokemon Facebook groups that I found, and I saw one that the justification actually it was like a little meme, and it was like this makes sense. It is also kind of silly and funny. The starter set they proposed was Snivy, Piplup, and fucking Scorbunny, or rather, the final evolutions were depicted in the meme, and it was like Superior Empoleon and not Scorbunny, fucking Cinderace, and it just said like connection to French for Superior and Empoleon, and then on Cinderace it just says soccer. And I'm like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
That tracks.
So I saw another prediction. This is going to be a predictions episode, by the way, if you haven't figured it out.
Yeah. Remember how when Pokemon Variety Hour was a show, we did like hopes and predictions whenever a new game was announced. We're doing it here instead this time.
Yep. So the other idea that Penguin and I were talking about is what if they didn't do starters at all? What if they had you pick from 3 different Pokemon?
They're not going to do that.
You see where I'm going with this, though?
I see where you're going with that, and there have definitely been like fan
Do you know
games
what 3
that have done that
Pokemon
concept.
would be up for? Do you know what 3 Pokemon would be up for grabs in this
No.
scenario?
Which ones?
Azurill, Badoo, and Magby.
For what purpose?
Just to give them a new form in their final evolution.
They're not going to do that.
Why not? It'd be
'Cause they
cool
already-
if they did.
It'd be interesting and cool if they did, but they're not going to. There's just no reason for them to break that mold, to break the mold in such a silly way. Like this is how they've always
Silly.
done it.
I don't think that's silly.
It's not like it's
I don't
cool,
think
but
that's
it's one of
silly.
those things where it's like it's how they've always done it, and it doesn't see. It's not like a worth it endeavor to break that mold. Like they designed the starters specifically to be perfectly balanced to start a video game with, and they've designed them that way for generations. I don't think they're just going to be randomly. Remember these ones? They're starters now. I think they're going to take from their established pool.
I don't know. I really think that they're gonna grab one of the Gen 4 and Gen 8 starters. At least one of them.
What makes you think those ones specifically?
Because the Gen 4 starters don't have anything at all, and the Gen 8 starters only got Gigantamax, but it's not new enough for them to. I think a Mega Evolution for a Gen 8 starter would be cool, especially because geographically the Galar region is just directly north of Kalos.
Are there any starters that like we haven't heard from in a while? Because like I feel like it's less about like who's gotten forms and more about like what starters have had something at all within the last few years. Because like I think about the set of starters in Legends Arceus, and I'm like, okay, Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and fucking Oshawott. Those are all from generations that we are that we're at least one console away from, if not several, and kind of haven't gotten much in a while that they are like a big part of. And I think maybe that logic will be applied again, which makes me kind of doubt Gen 4 and Gen 8. Maybe Gen 8 is plausible, but Gen 4 I think definitely not, because Gen 4 just got 2 whole video games. So I do not think it's going to be a Gen 4 starter, one of them.
What if they just grab the Gen 1 starters and go, yeah, so here's Mega Venusaur X, and we're going to give you a new Mega Evolution called Mega Venusaur Y. Or they just give Z Megas to all the Kanto starters.
If the set of starters is just the Kanto starters, I feel like I will be upset. Even if they get like a cool new thing, I will still be a little bit upset.
Someone also suggested that they're just not going to follow Legends Arceus, and they're literally just going to do the Kalos starters, but finally give them Mega Evolutions.
Honestly, I'd be very satisfied with that.
I'd be satisfied with that.
I thought it was really silly that they didn't do that in the first place.
I love the Gen 6 starters. All three of them are perfect in every way. I would love for them to get Mega Evolutions.
Well, you know my feelings about one of them, but I really like the other two. So I agree with you 2/3.
That Chessman, I love him. He's grown on me. He's adorable. He's got a little hood. He's got a little hat.
Chessman himself is adorable.
Little baby.
I do like Chessman. I think that.
Oh, but see, you don't want to run around with the with Spiny Ball.
No,
Ball boy.
I think that Chestnut is just like trying too hard to be cool and kind of just looks lame. I think
it doesn't matter what their final things are.
What do you mean?
They could take the Kalos starters and be like, yeah, here's a new form for them, an ancient form.
They're not gonna do that. Why would they do that?
I know. It's unfortunate. I just want new forms. That's all. I want to see.
Let me finish my fucking thought, asshole. So Chestnut tried too hard to look cool. Kind of comes up short. Looks kind of lame. Quilladin is literally my least favorite Pokemon by an absolute landslide. That thing looks ugly as sin. Look at its fucking nose. Look at the whole thing. Fuck Quilladin. And that is what sours the Chespin line for me, is my pure hatred for Quilladin, combined with my apathy towards Chestnut.
I don't know. The starters could go a whole bunch of ways. I really think that they're going to pull Gen 4 and Gen 8, though.
I don't see why you would think Gen 4, when Gen 4 just got 2 whole video games. One of which was just a remake where they were the starter set.
They completely ignored all of the starters.
In Legends Arceus, but not in fucking BDSP, where they were just the starters again.
Yeah, but that's boring, though. They're just the starters. They've gotten nothing in Gen 4.
Yes, but they at least got a game to exist. Whereas in the Legends Arceus, it was a lot of starters who just weren't anything for a while. At all.
That's fair. I would like to see Meganium or Totodile or for Alligator get something as well. They haven't had anything happen to them yet.
I think they. Oh, I thought of I'm not like super serious about this, but I think it's possible. I think if I really tighten my tinfoil hat, there's possible I'm right. It's possible I'm right on this. This is my fucking game theory, okay? That this is I said this to Gingy in a private call, and I have to say it on air. Just I have to make it known to the people, the thoughts that are ruminating in my mind. I think that those motherfuckers had Let's Go Johto ready to go, ready to fucking fire at us in that Pokemon Presents, and then Pal World happened, and they were like, "Fuck, bro, we can't put out fucking Let's Go right now. This is bad for us. This would be a terrible look. We fucking Pal World just made $1 billion, and we're out here with fucking play Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. 5-year-olds, have fun. We need to fucking pivot." So they just showed what little they had of Legends ZA. And the reason I think this is because, come on, you guys saw how much Johto imagery was in that fucking direct, right? Before the game of the hour got revealed, we zoomed into a fucking unknown. That's when I was like, okay, so obviously it's Johto then, because we were zooming into a fucking unknown slowly as we went into the reveal, and then it had nothing to do with that at all. So that's my conspiracy theory. I think they had Let's Go Wooper and Togepi, or Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Let's Go to Johto, Pikachu and Eevee, or whatever the fuck they were gonna do. And then Pal World happened, and they were like, "Fuck that," and they pivoted. I think there's an entire Let's Go Johto that they're just not gonna make anymore.
Like
And
original Pokemon Z.
yes.
Now, do you think we're going to get a game this year in
No.
2024?
Certainly not. They people have been hammering at them to fucking increase their development time for years at this point. I think it was inevitable, and I think it's happened. I don't think we're getting a game this year.
Now, when do you think they're going to release? Do you think they're going to do an early 25 game or
Yeah,
late 25 game and make us wait 2 full years?
I'm assuming it's going to be like Q1 or Q2, but it is possible they make us wait almost a full 2 years. I wouldn't put it past them.
Okay.
Like if it came out Q1, it would align with what happened to Legends Arceus, but like there's not necessarily a pattern to be observed there
Well,
because it was only one game.
I don't think Game Freak's working with patterns anymore. I think they said fuck all of your patterns. I guarantee you, they have an entire like
Well, hey, the patterns
internet
are still
division that just
the
scatters the internet for what people are talking about, and they're like, oh, so we're working on Gen 8 right now. People have noticed that we got new evolutions in Gen 2, 4, and 6.
I don't remember where we talked about this, if it was even on a podcast. I think this might have been in our private argument. But shit, I don't know where I was going with that thought. I lost the thread. Fuck. Pokemon. Oh, patterns. Yes. I mean, we'll see. There's not necessarily anything that's really diverged from any pattern. There's the new like games, and I think this is another example, like what they did with Legends Arceus and what they did with Let's Go. I think this is another one of those times because this is definitely going to be a very different beast from the original Legends Arceus in that, again, one city, that whole big one city thing that everybody's being so slope brained about. And I think this game is going to be an extremely different beast from anything we've seen before. So I think this is Game Freak continuing to throw spaghetti at the wall as they've done these past few generations. But the things that are still on the time clock are still within that time clock. Because again, I pointed this out and I was at least partially correct. We'll see if I'm proven fully correct next generation. But not since Fire Red and Leaf Green and Heart Gold Soul Silver have we gotten the main next sequential remake 2 generations in a row. It's always been a generation skipped. So if we get Black and White remakes next gen, that pattern is intact.
Okay. Now, so you know how they had noble Pokemon in Legends Arceus, right?
Sure.
Sure, as in you know what I'm talking about, or sure as in you're no insteading me?
No. Well, get shit. Now you're getting me all mixed up. I'm not no setting you. I'm saying I know. I know of them.
Do you think they're gonna do the same mechanic but with new Mega Pokemon?
Ooh, that's an interesting angle there, Alex. I don't know.
Or maybe not, like, they'd be Mega Evolutions, but they'd be like raging Pokemon?
That's a good fucking point.
I think I feel like that's too obvious though. But I mean, they could. I really loved the mechanic of like the quote unquote boss battles that you had to do.
I mean, part of me likes them, part of me finds them kind of goofy. Like,
It's goofy, but it's different. That was the whole. That's why Legends Arceus
I don't know how hard
succeeded.
I don't know how hard they ended up getting like as the game progressed, but I know the first 2 were pretty laughably easy. Which led
Um,
me go ahead.
the you fight Hisui and Avalugg later on. That becomes a bullet hell. Probably one of the hardest things of the game. I think personally, just in terms of that mechanic, the final Arceus fight is fucking ridiculously hard. you literally have to do it multiple times over just to learn the patterns, and then once you learn the patterns, you have to stick to what you have to do with each of the patterns that Arceus throws at you. It's basically a Pokemon bullet hell of just avoiding and trying to do things with him. And it's very interesting, and it was very hard.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's just then I haven't finished the game, so I haven't gotten to the later boss fights. So, if your recollection is correct, this isn't true. But I think it kind of registered in my mind much in the same way that the trials did in Sun and Moon, where I was like, okay, well they're trying something different. But the difference that they've presented me with is so laughably nothing that I feel like my time would be better spent if it wasn't here. Because Sun and Moon was like, ooh,
The only
trials.
issues with the trials, though,
That they were
they were
laughably fucking
too
easy.
exactly.
They were nothing.
So they were the equivalent. They were trying something new. Okay,
They were trying. That's the thing. They were trying.
realized that the trials were bad, so they turned them into fun little games you do before the actual gym battles for Gen 8 and Gen 9, which I found very enjoyable to do.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Now I'm all mixed up again. I'm so jumbled about all this. There's so much raw thoughts running through my brain at once. So much Pokemon. It's release season once again, Alex. Although I've heard we're getting no news on this one for quite a while. That's what the rumor mill says.
Probably, yeah, it's probably going to be months until we hear anything.
Do you think? Do you think it's going to be a Switch 2 game?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
You see, I feel like okay, so I'm of two minds on this one. First of all, if you don't think the Switch 2 is coming, you're fucking stupid. Yes, Andrew, I'm talking to you specifically.
Well, yeah, no, the Switch 2 is coming.
No. I know you're not saying
hold on.
that. That's part of
Yeah,
my thought. That's part of my. Let me finish my
Jesus
thought, or I
Christ.
will fucking forget it. And god damn it, you see me forgetting all my thoughts. You can't be interrupting me all the time.
Stop
And I
getting
forgot
high
my
and you
thought
won't have
while I was
short-term
yelling at
memory.
you. Fuck.
Stop smoking weed and you'll get some of your memory back.
No, it's the only thing that makes life worth living. Leave me alone.
Switch to alcohol, like a real adult.
I would be much less functional if I were drunk right now.
That's the point. You gotta learn to live with the drunkenness.
I've learned to live with the highness. I'm not fucking falling asleep. I'm not fucking drooling on myself right now. I just forget things sometimes.
Okay, continue your thought.
I already told you I lost the thought. The thought's gone. You can go ahead.
All right. Are there any Pokemon that you think are going to get new Mega Evolutions, or do you think there are any Pokemon that are going to get new evolutions, regular, or new forms like Hisuian forms?
Wait, this just in.
But
Hold
like
on to that.
Colosseum.
Hold on to that because I remembered what I was saying. It was about the Switch 2. Switch 2.
My God.
Everybody knows it's coming. You're stupid if you don't think it's
No one
coming.
said.
Shut up. I was going. I was just yanking it back to the pre. I was loading the save state, Alex. That's different. But so the Switch 2, it's coming. But it has. So I'm on two minds about this because on the one hand, it would align with Pokemon's pattern to not put out the first game that comes out when the new console is out on the new console. That has always been the pattern, or at least it's been the pattern the last couple go rounds. Black and White 2 came out. The 3DS had already been out for a while when Black and White 2 came out. The Switch had already been out for a while when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out. So that has always been the pattern. But there has been large, loud criticism about performance issues of the Switch, of basically all the Switch titles outside of Let's Go, have had pretty strong criticism levied at them for performance issues and graphical issues. So maybe if they had a new dev kit in their hands, they played with it so that they could try to avoid that happening again. So that's why I'm of two minds about it. Where on the one hand, the pattern recognition checks out that they would put it on the Switch 1 rather than the Switch 2 because that's how they've been doing it. They've always done the one more on the previous gen console. But at the same time, the controversy about the performance issues has been so vocal that I think maybe they might have been like, okay, we can get some new hardware in our hands. Let's do it.
I don't think it's going to be a Switch 2 release. I really don't.
Remains to be seen, I suppose.
I don't think the first game on a brand new console would be a Legends Arceus game, like a Legends game. I don't think it would be.
I mean,
they haven't come out and said, "Hey, Switch 2 coming out this year." You know?
Yeah. Well, the year is young, Alex. I think we're getting that revealed pretty damn soon.
I don't know.
We know
Time
dev
will tell,
kits are
I guess.
we know dev kits are already in people's hands. The internal rumor mill, which obviously take it with a grain of salt, I guess, although it seems pretty corroborated, is that they were originally aiming for Q4 2024 release, and now it has been delayed to Q1, maybe a little bit further, 2025 internally. That is what the insiders seem to suggest.
Do you think the Switch 2 is going to be a brand new console, or do you think it's going to be, hey, we have Switch games, but this one is like the OLED that has slightly better processing power?
It's not going to be well. I mean, it's possible that it'll be that, but I don't think. I think
like the
Switch
games will work. Do you think it's just going to be better like hardware?
Well, I mean, yeah, that would still make it a new console, Alex. That's called backwards compatibility. The Wii U had that too. That doesn't mean it was a Wii. So yeah, I think it will definitely be backwards compatible. I think it would be completely fucking stupid of them not to do that. But I think it will be a new system with upgraded hardware, and titles henceforth will come out on the Switch 2 and not the Switch 1.
That's what I was asking was, do you think it's literally just going to be the Switch but better, but they're still just going to keep releasing Switch games?
No. It's not going to be a new Nintendo 3DS situation, I think. I think it's going to be a Wii U situation where it's just like, this is the sequel to the Switch. It's a new console. It's got new games. You can play the old games on it too, but it's got new games that you can't play on the
so
old
you're
one.
you're talking DS to 3DS.
Correct. DS to 3DS, Wii to Wii U.
Not 2DS to 3DS.
Correct.
Okay. Just making sure, covering all of the bases here. So Legends ZA. What's the ZA? What do you think?
Did you just
Obviously
fucking
the
ask that
Z-
question? Alex. Alex, you
this
fool.
is don't patronize the fuck out of me when I'm asking a very good question that everybody on the internet is trying to figure out.
Well, they're fucking stupid if they're trying to figure it out, because it's pretty fucking easy. If you'll recall, there was a very mysterious man with a very interesting backstory that we only got a very brief taste of in X and Y, whose name was AZ. You think that might have something to do with it?
Yeah. Don't patronize me. This is a fucking... this is why I don't do this podcast sober. Because you bother the fuck out of me with your patronizing bullshit. Fuck, I'm out of alcohol too. I could go crack open a bottle of wine, but I'm not feeling wine today.
Do I patronize you often? Is that a thing I do?
No, I ask a question to get the... I'm just frustrated right now to get... I ask a simple question because everybody's talking about it.
Well, I'm just saying, if people are talking about it and they're unsure of what it is.
Legend Zygarde. Yeah, but it's not a question where I don't know the answer. It's a question to get a conversation started.
Okay.
That's it. It's like whatever, like rhetorical questions you don't answer. You know? It's literally just a question to get to get you talking. That's it. It's not that I don't know, because I have
I'm
my own theory.
sorry. I didn't know.
God, you're the reason why I drink sometimes. This podcast makes me an alcoholic. Just quit.
Why? You're really going off on me tonight. My God.
It's because I'm sober and I haven't had anything to drink in like 4 days.
Jesus.
It's withdrawals. I ran out, okay? I've been lazy.
Yeah. Alex is having fucking withdrawals and she's taking her anger out on me.
I ran out on fucking Tuesday. Technically, I haven't run out. All right.
She's having the shakes. She's
all right.
fucking.
Let me clarify real quick. Let me clarify real quick. I am not completely out of alcohol. I have a bottle of Belvedere. I have 2 bottles of rosé, and I have a bottle of Pinot Grigio up in my cabinet.
And I drank
I'm
all those,
too lazy
but like it's
to
not like
open
that
a
counts.
bottle of wine.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm not. 3 of those are untouchable. The 2 rosés are wine from the band All Time Low. The bottle of Belvedere is from my grandfather's house, and that was the drink that he always drank before he passed, like a couple months ago. So I got a bottle of Belvedere from his house, so that won't get drank. And then I don't like Pinot Grigio, so I'm not going to drink that one. So not all the alcohol in this apartment is accessible.
Alex is sitting there with like the shakes, fucking her body receding in on itself, just desiring that beautiful, beautiful chemical. And she's just the aggression's coming out. And she's like, "Fuck you! You're a condescending, bad co-host. This podcast is why I'm an alcoholic." She's in that sober psychosis stage. Oh man. What an interesting time in the Pokemon franchise. A lot of it's weird because again, I point to the toxic slope-brained Pokemon fan base in that it seems like the general take on Pokemon seems to be pretty negative, honestly. In recent years, I think there are a lot of people who have lost faith in the brand, and as much as I disagree with those people fundamentally, it's definitely an unfortunate thing. And I hope that Pokemon can try to find the compromises that make everyone happy and get us back to where we're not all killing each other all the time. Because there's a very loud, very mean sect of us who's just like, oh, the game has a small visual glitch. This is a fucking outrage. Nintendo, I want my money back. Game Freak, you failed. Oh, oh. And it's that's why I honestly hope it's on the Switch too, and they can be like, "Listen, motherfuckers, okay? It was the hardware. Here you go. We made one that works. Are you fucking happy? Shut the fuck up."
They're not going to be happy, though. They'll never be happy. Thank you for filling up the dead air, by the way. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
All right. You know, my favorite thing about wine
What is your favorite thing about wine, Alex? Tell me.
is when I don't need a fucking goddamn bottle opener and it's just the twist top.
It seems like corks are pretty outdated. Like, why have them? We've invented better ways.
The twist top is so much easier. The twist top is life. It's my life.
Does it stay better longer with a cork? Like, what is the why did we not just switch to twist tops once they were invented? Like, what utility does the cork serve?
I don't know.
Seems
Anyway.
outdated and strange.
Back to Pokemon. All right. Let's hold on. This is so. Anyway, so you think that Legends ZA is related to AZ, correct?
Obviously, I think it's gonna have something to do with AZ. It's gonna have something to do with the Great Pokemon War and the weapon or whatever. Although I guess it can't really be about the initial firing of the weapon, because unless
that happened what 3,000 years ago.
It happened 3,000 years ago. Although there's not anything that necessarily disproves that we're in ancient Kalos just yet. So it could be possible, but I'm pretty sure it's the firing of the weapon that makes Mega Evolution exist. So unless it gets fired like in the middle of the game, I think it will have to be post that having happened.
Let me look something up because my theory might be based off of bullshit. So hold on.
What the fuck even is the ultimate weapon? I forget what it was. It had something to do with like that fucking Stonehenge town, right?
I think so, yeah. Man, why does Google not fucking give me anything? Fuck this,
What are
dude.
you
I don't understand
googling?
this shit.
Do you Google like your idol Dick Masterson, which is to say extremely poorly?
No, I was looking up how Mega Evolutions
I can
like started.
sometimes there are moments where like I will feel it. That I won't stay on this for too long. I know we haven't started the Dickheads podcast yet, so the moratorium has not officially been put in place. It will be next week. But there are times during Biggest Problem where I'm like I can definitely imagine myself in Vito's shoes here and feel the venom that I would feel. Not the venom, but just like the annoyance that I would feel if I were put in this situation. And one of those moments is always
I
when
thought
Dick
you were gonna say. I
what?
thought you were gonna say. I can honestly feel the Dick Masterson energy coming off of Alex, and I really feel
That's
like
always the
Vito getting
case.
frustrated with them every single week.
That's always the case. But I can feel myself in Vito's shoes sometimes, and one of those times is whenever Dick tries to Google something and he's using obviously like not well thought out search terms that like my brain as somebody who's been using search engines for years and I know exactly what kind of searches don't work. Then Dick will say something that I know will not result in a search that will find what he's looking for, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then I hear Vito be like, oh my god, no, look it up this way. And Dick will like fight him on it. And I'm like, no, he's right. Shut up. I feel myself in there.
All right, you want to
The
hear my theory
bad
about ZA?
Googler. Tell me your theory. Tell me your
Now,
theory.
this might be too on the nose. It might be too early. It might be too obvious. All
Okay.
right.
Sure.
A Pokemon from space that starts with the letter A and embodies the like Mega Evolution
Adioxys?
energy. Huh?
Adioxys?
Motherfucker. Listen.
Okay.
Don't know but me. Don't know instead me.
That was not a no
Fuck.
instead. It was just me making
Everything's
Deoxys.
a no instead.
It's not a no
It should be
instead.
yes, I agree.
It's not a no instead. I was just making a joke because Deoxys is from space, but it doesn't start with A. So I said like Deoxys because I was because that's the only Pokemon from space I could think of. I was just making a joke. I was putting A in front of Deoxys.
I'm too tense. I'm too tense today. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I
jeez,
should
man.
apologize. I'm fucking snapping at you. It's the closest this podcast has ever come to ending.
I have to clickbait it now. I'll post it on Twitter. Just like this is the closest the podcast has ever come to ending. Ellipses and then just the link.
Like how you named the issue crew episode with just you and me. Alex wins
Alex wins the
the
whole
issue crew or
podcast
something.
because Wet Socks was obviously the
Yeah.
best issue. Which, funnily enough, you won, but not with Wet Socks. Open Container Laws was the winning issue.
No shit.
Yes.
The underdog, the one thought of halfway through the episode. That's great.
To be fair,
Um,
it was the result of a Mo Diggity tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker was between both of your issues. So you would have won regardless of what he picked, but he picked Open Container Laws.
man, fuck Mo Diggity.
True.
I saw your problem was Mo Diggity this week.
It was.
I'm surprised you didn't bring in Alec Colochu as an issue.
No, this was off the cuff. I don't even remember what I was planning to bring in. But Mo Diggity said something that pissed me off, and originally I was about to make my issue that thing that pissed me off, and then somebody else brought up something similar that also pissed me off that Mo Diggity was also guilty of. And I was like, should I make my issue this or this? And then Mo was like, why don't you just make your issue fucking Mo Diggity? Just fucking make it easy. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you, I will.
I'm really surprised that Dick and Vito have not brought each other in as problems biggest problem yet.
No, this is not a new. Yeah, I'm surprised too because this is not a new bit for us. I don't think it's happened on the issue crew yet, but there was definitely a Riely issue and an Andrew issue on largest issue, and probably a Demi one too. But I don't recall that one offhand. I don't remember if we did
Anyway,
Mo either. But now
can I
Mo
finish
has
my
been done.
theory?
For your theory,
You know Terapagos? Do you know the concept of Terapagos?
Mm, kind of,
The
but
turtle
not
from Blueberry
really.
Academy?
You're gonna start
Terapagos
saying it, and I'm gonna be
embodies
like, yeah, yeah.
everything about terrestrialization.
Oh yes, okay, yeah, I remember that now. It's like the
So
origin
I'm
of
thinking,
terrestrialization. Gotcha.
kind of, yeah. I'm thinking A is a Pokemon from space that embodies the aspect of Mega Evolution. It
Alex, I
might
like.
be too on the nose just because we just got Terapagos, but I could
I like.
also be completely wrong, and the A could just be literally from. Oh, we got all the Pokemon from A to Z, Zygarde and Arceus. Like it could be something dumb like that, and it could mean the A could just be there for no reason.
Yeah, the A. I think the A is just there because it's the game has something to do with AZ, and also but it's
Hold
also
on,
Pokemon Z, so they wanted to put Z first, so it's ZA. AZ is immortal, so even if it takes place long after the war and the weapon, AZ could still be in it and a significant character and part of the lore.
do you think we're
Because
gonna finally get AZ's Floette
yeah, for sure,
for sure?
I think so. I think it's pretty. It would be pretty foolish to not believe at this point that this game is going to not maybe not he's the main character, but at least AZ is going to be very important because again, the game is called ZA. Look at that! Look at that for 5 seconds. It's like one of those Illuminati confirmed videos, like ZA, huh? If you reverse those letters, you'll see. It does not take a rocket scientist. I think it's pretty plain to see that AZ is going to play into this somehow. Whether the story is going to resolve around the war and the weapon, or whether it's going to be the war and the weapon already happened, and AZ's immortal wanderings around the world become relevant in this game. I think he's definitely going to play a very significant part. And with that being the case, I think it would be pretty ridiculous to not give us access to that Floette design. So I think yes, I would be willing to bet that we will get that AZ will be important, and we will get AZ's Floette as an available Pokemon.
Now, this was another thing. So you know how in Legends Arceus, maybe you don't know, but they made Shaman, Darkrai, and Cresselia all available in game.
I have heard
Do
about that.
you? Yeah. Do you think we're gonna get Hoopa, Volcanion, and
Diancie.
Diancie? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I want Hoopa. I just want Hoopa. That's all I care about. Volcanion can go fuck himself.
That's an angle I
I don't
hadn't
like Volcanion.
that's an angle I hadn't considered. I wonder if Hoopalore will, or if any of the mythical lore will play, because I think Hoopa has some decent lore.
Hoopa's got it good. I love Hoopa. Hoopa is adorable. The little baby.
Hoopa is
And
an
then a
adorable
fire
little
water
baby.
type with Volcanion would wreak havoc on things.
God,
Let me go back to my conversation with Penguin, see if there was anything else I'm missing.
I'm really upset that we had to wait for so long for this. As much as it'll probably be worth the wait, I could feel it in my bones.
Oh, that's another thing I was going to bring up. Do you think this is what Penguin and I mainly talked about? Furfro. Do you think Furfro is going to get new form?
Uh I'm not willing to be like, yes, definitely on that one, but probably.
Not an evolution, just like the new haircuts,
No,
kind
no,
of.
no. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and
Okay.
like, it's definitely possible. I would not put it past them for sure.
Um, I guess the last thing, are there any Pokemon that you think are gonna get new evolutions?
Firm.
If
I
it's too
mean,
much to ask, we can say specifically the Kalos region.
I'd say that's definitely possible, but I couldn't even begin to posit on which ones.
I want to say, oh, because that wouldn't make any sense. Hold on, where's my fucking name? Because I'm dumb and shit. Let's go to Gen 6. Do. I feel like Aromatisse and Slurpuff could get evolutions.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's certainly possible.
They feel like just looking back, they feel like they're just middle evos. That's I'm gonna
They
put it on
do,
record.
you're
Riley, I'm
saying
putting this
that, and
on record right now.
okay, you're making a full bet.
Halucha. Halucha's
Ooh,
getting an evolution.
okay. Interesting.
And then I would also like to put on record, just because it seems like they were they did this with Legends Arceus, I feel like Xerneas and Yveltal are gonna get new forms. Don't you think?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Xerneas and Yveltal are gonna get new forms. Or maybe Mega Evolution.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a pretty safe bet. We got it with Dialga and Palkia and Legends Arceus, I think. Yeah, probably. Gingy says Yveltal better be a Grim Reaper looking motherfucker. I would pay money to see that. Actually, that's a good concept. Game Freak hire this man.
What about Go-Goat? Do you think Go-Goat? He feels like a final Evo, but Skiddo to Go-Goat doesn't feel complete.
I feel
I don't
like it
know.
does.
Well, it does, but
I
like
see. I
I
see
feel
what
like
you're
it
saying.
could
I
be
see what you're
expanded
saying.
upon more.
I see what you're saying with Slurpuff and Aromatisse. Like I am envisioning those Pokemon in my head, and I'm like, yeah, these do seem like middles. But Skiddo and Go-Goat seem complete to me. But who knows? Maybe we will get a third goat, the Super Goat.
So what about Zygarde? Do you think it's going to happen in terms of storyline? Do you have any predictions for like storyline wise, like what the focus on Zygarde is going to be?
I would be willing to bet it's going to be like maybe even painfully so similar to the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon plotline with Zygarde. I feel like it's probably going to hit a lot of the same notes, just go a little bit more in depth and maybe do some cool stuff with it. But I think it'll probably be largely the same in that the Zygarde cells will come into play in some way. We're gonna see complete form Zygarde. I don't think we'll see a new Zygarde because
I don't
never
think we're
really
going to see a new Zygarde.
complete form never
Zygarde's
really
already
got a
got
chance.
3 forms.
Yeah, complete form never really got a chance to truly shine outside of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And it never really got a lot of lore stuff to it, at least originally. So that's what I expect. I feel like it's going to be kind of rehash from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon in that we'll probably be collecting Zygarde cells, and that will probably get us to an end of complete form Zygarde. But there'll be more complex plot threads in between.
Do you think it'll be more of like a betrayal story where like 10% Zygarde is kind of like, hey yo, help me with this. Like these little guys, they're me. They're everywhere. Can you help me with this shit? And you're like, oh little puppy, yeah, I'll help you. And then like once you get to 100%, he goes, you've been fucking around this land for way too fucking long. I'm sick and tired of this shit, and you gotta face him like the Legends Arceus battle.
Yeah, could be. So many exciting possibilities on this adventure. Pre-order today. I don't even think you can do that, but you should do it anyway. You should mail a
I
check.
don't think pre-orders are available at
You should
all.
mail a check for $70 to Pokemon Company International and be like, hold that ZA for me, dog.
Now, I saw on Twitter, I couldn't find it online, but someone said AZ's brother was named ZA.
That's not fucking true. There's no way. Fucking
I'm just
Mario,
saying what I saw on Twitter,
fucking
okay?
Mario, and Luigi Mario looking ass. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying there's no fucking way. AZ Pokemon. AZ is a mysterious man. Pokemon X and Y. Yeah, we get it. Okay, the only reference I see to a ZA on Bulbapedia is in fact Pokemon Legends ZA. So I don't think that's real.
I got it. As revealed by documents kept in Lysander Labs, AZ's younger brother had wished to claim Kalos out of his own greed.
And his brother's name was ZA.
I don't think he has a goddamn fucking name. All right.
Okay, there's
People just
his name's
AZ
not
and
ZA.
ZA. Ooh, pew pew pew.
Fucking Luigi Mario over here. I don't think that's gonna be what it is. Fucking ZA.
I don't know, man. I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall, just like Pokemon
you,
Center.
faker.
Right?
Fucking Sonic and Shadow. AZ.
Is there one Pokemon since Legends Arceus proved that they can put different Pokemon in the region, like fucking Basculin into Basculegion? Are there any Pokemon from any of the regions that you think deserves a new evolution that they could put in this game? Or
here's a fun
someone
one
that you would like to see. Yeah.
Here's a fun one. I would like to see Ladian get an evolution because this goes into my own nerdy sub interest because if you're like me and you are versed in Japanese tokusatsu television programming, it's pretty plain to see that Ladian's design is somewhat inspired by Kamen Rider and other such tokusatsu programs. And it is also plain to see that Ladian sucks ass. So I would like to see an evolution to Ladian that is good and maybe goes a little harder in the Kamen Rider reference paint and makes it actually usable.
That would be interesting. I asked you the question. I was just about to say, I asked you the question, and I did not have an answer prepared for myself.
I do that a lot. Don't worry. Think about it. We believe in you.
You know what? I got it. I think that the elemental monkeys from Gen 5 should all get evolutions.
That would go hard as hell. Those boys need a boost. I'm gonna be real with you. Those monkeys. I love those monkeys. Those
They
funky
feel
monkeys.
like middle evos. Like they feel like final evolutions when you look at them all together.
Yeah, they
but then
feel
you realize
feel complete, but they suck ass. So they could be better.
They evolve with stones though, so I don't think they're gonna touch the monkeys. What if they took Pansage, Pansear, and Panpour, threw them into Legends ZA, and said, "Here's your starters. Go have fun. Fuck you."
That'd be pretty funny.
Pick a monkey, any monkey.
Not Chimchar though. Not the good monkey. These monkeys.
Well, I want Grookey. No.
Grookey?
Fuck you.
Not that monkey. No. Nope.
Semi-Sage.
Apom? Not that monkey. These monkeys.
Ooh, we could get a Maractus evolution as well.
That'd be cool. I'd like that. I feel like I feel like that one has no. I feel like that one has nowhere to go but racist though. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Bigger cactus.
Maybe, perhaps. Ludicolo's grandfathered in, but I don't think we could do Ludicolo again. I think that's a one and done situation.
Just make a bigger cactus. That's what they did with Cacnea and Cacturne.
That's true.
I'm still standing by Hawlucha's gonna get an evolution. I'm standing by that. That's my prediction for this game.
That wouldn't shock me.
Because I feel like Halucha's like not left by the wayside, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
one-off, and he's a good one-off, but like I could see
you
him.
know who else could get an evolution?
Who?
They could bring back Pyukumuku.
He's perfect the way he is, though.
Oh, he is perfect the way he is, but can you imagine him with the Eviolite?
Oh God. Oh. Oh man. I feel like you see, I would hate that, but I would definitely use that. It would be a situation where I would use it all the time, but if I ever had to look at one myself, I'd be like, maybe it's time to just cash my chips in. Like I would definitely take advantage of that, but I would also be terrified of it.
What if they gave some of the? Oh, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with talking about this. There's a lot that you could talk about on in just this
Also,
alone.
real quick, fun fact, the tangent. Fun fact, I've a detour. You could even say. Fun fact I've learned about competitive Pokemon. They've solved Mousehold. If you'll
Did they
recall,
really?
very early on in the Scarlet and Violet metagame, Mousehold was kind of a problem because you would give it a wide lens and hit Population Bomb, and any Pokemon that didn't resist it would die, and that would be how it would go. But now it has that problem is understood. So what people do is they just make sure to bring a Pokemon with Rocky Helmet that resists normal type moves, so that when you try to use your mouse hold to switch that bad boy in there, Rocky Helmet, you take Rocky Helmet damage for every Population Bomb hit, mouse hold destroyed. So that is why mouse hold is not only is he not OU anymore, I believe he is RU because Rocky Helmet defeats him thoroughly. I remember I didn't even think about that. Kudos to whoever did, because I remember being like, "Holy shit, this is ridiculous! How do you not die to this?" They figured out how to not die to this. It's Rocky Helmet.
Uh, Raging Gingy said in the chat, Klefki could have an evolution, but instead of
Ooh,
assortment of keys, that make it a skeleton key Pokemon.
ooh, I like that.
I must have over.
Seems to be a common
I'm
theme in
still.
what Gingy's saying though. A lot of skull based Pokemon, Skeleton Keys and Grim Reaper, Yveltals. What's going on? Why are you in such a scully mood, Gingy?
Because he showed up late to the podcast, so he won't get unmuted.
Is he muted by us? I think he's muted on
No,
his
he's
own
not server
accord.
muted. He can unmute himself at any time.
He has the power.
He does have the power. I already told him he can listen in on any episode he wants. We don't have a guest today, so
It's true.
find out next week to see what Raging Gingy does next.
What kind of wacky shenanigans will that guy be up to? We find out
The
next
world
time.
may never know.
The world may never know.
Oh man, do you have any other
Tune in to
predictions that you want to talk
Gingy's
about?
Wacky Adventures Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, Alex. What did you say?
Are we fresh out of predictions at this point?
I'm trying to think of more specific stuff, but like we have so little to build off of. I guess do you buy the time travel stuff that people are trying to spin from how that trailer was styled? Do
No,
you think there's any merit to that at all? No.
I don't think there's going to be time travel.
I mean, I see where
If
they're
they were going to
coming
do
from.
time travel, I feel like Scarlet and Violet was the game to do it.
I see where they're coming from, and based on the trailer's visuals, I'd say it's not a guaranteed thing. A lot of people are talking about it like they're like, I solved it. I know what this is. I think the visuals are too abstract to be that clear and cut. But I think it's very possible based on the trailer they gave us, because there definitely was there definitely was visuals that kind of shifted from very futuristic and Tron-y to not at all that. So I could see where they're getting it from, and it would not shock me if they were right, but it also would not shock me if they were wrong. I'll actually be pretty hyped if I find out they're right, because that will be everything. All the vibes I'm picking up from this is that it's going to be very different from anything we've seen before, and I am very on board with that. Anytime they break the mold,
Wait,
go ahead.
no, I stopped. Go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going.
Well, yeah. Anytime they break the mold, I think it's always just a treat. I think Legends Arceus did that. I think Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee did that in their own way. Anytime they break the established what's going on. That's always very interesting. And I think they're gonna do it again. And I think this one's gonna be a really weird duck, not in a bad way, but in a this is going to be very different from anything we have seen before. And if we get a time travel mechanic confirmed, that will confirm that in a whole new way, and I will honestly be down as hell. I want this to be as different and weird as it possibly can be.
So I don't want to say hoping for, but I feel like it's going to be a thing. This this Legends game is going to be very different from Legends Arceus.
100%. It's going to be very different from any Pokemon game we've ever seen before, including Legends Arceus. I think for sure.
Knowing the Pokemon company, I don't think they're just going to rebrand Legends Arceus and put it in the Kalos region.
No,
I
Legends
really
Arceus
think they're
didn't.
going to put a brand new spin on this game and do something completely different.
If anything, even if
I would
it,
like to see aspects. I would like to see aspects of Legends Arceus in this game, just because it is a Legends game, and that's what that they've already set the tone for what a Legends game is.
I think it'll
But I
probably
feel like it's going to be very
play.
different.
I think it'll probably play in a somewhat similar manner. I wouldn't be shocked if the capture mechanics were similar. I would not be shocked if
Mm-hmm.
the battle system came forward, if they put the agile and strength styles back in. It would not shock me if contextually the game functioned similar to Legends Arceus. But I think aesthetically and lore wise and and a lot of other mechanics that come along with that are going to be a very different animal.
Absolutely, yeah. I 100% agree.
I'm very excited. I think this game is going. Here's a weird comparison, right? The way that they're kind of setting up this game. So it's going to be a Pokemon game that takes place entirely within one big city. And one sentence that I paid particular attention to in the trailer was when they were showing the little folder with the Lumiose redevelopment urban development plan. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there was some, I don't remember the exact sentence, but something about like a vision of peaceful coexistence between people and Pokemon. So what I'm envisioning
Yes,
is this huge city where people and Pokemon are coexisting as residents in the city. And I feel like it's going to hit a lot of similar notes to Detective Pikachu, the movie. Like just seeing Pokemon and people function within like a society and all the fun little things that come with that. Like, see, like to go back to Detective Pikachu, like shit, like there being a fucking Trico on the window at the fucking bus station, like little shit like that. Like just like a city with Pokemon all around being a part of it, and that is cool. That is one of the primary things I loved about Detective Pikachu, and it is something that I'm really excited to see captured in this game, and it's what it seems like they're going for with that sentence in the trailer and with the concept of it being a Pokemon game taking place entirely within one city is just seeing Pokemon around in a city operating with its people.
so like any Pokemon movie ever.
No. The other Pokemon movies
I
are
just meant
just
like the
Ash
aesthetics
Ketchum
of
does a
every
thing.
single town. No, in the backgrounds or every single town, it's always people and Pokemon living together. That's what I was referencing.
I mean,
Had nothing to do with Ash.
that's the case for like any of the anime. But I'm talking about in like a realer sense, which I guess technically that might not be the case, but I feel like it because it's just like a bigger, it's different because it's a game and it's like big and ambitious and it's like open world and it's going to play. If it takes place entirely within a city, I'm fairly confident they're going to do some fun stuff with Pokemon and people coexisting in said city that maybe that are irregular for the Pokemon games, not necessarily other mediums.
What do you think the antagonist of this game is going to be?
Um, I don't know. It could be AZ. He's not necessarily a positive force.
That could be interesting. To actually put him in a Pokemon game and not just like have him as lore.
No, he's gonna be in this game. Whether he's the antagonist, whether he's the fucking just the guy that's around, he is going to play a role. I would that one I will make a bet on. I'll fucking what's something silly I could do if AZ is not in this game. I'll fucking
You'll donate to the Detour Ahead Patreon. Patreon.com/Detour Ahead.
How would I do that? I'd just be giving you half of my money. I'd be giving you money and you'd be giving me back half of it.
It's probably the dumbest and craziest thing you could possibly do.
I'll put my copy of Pokemon Shield in my mouth for like 10 seconds because Switch games taste like really bad,
you gotta lick
right?
the Switch cartridge.
Yeah.
You gotta.
I'm gonna put it on my mouth, on my tongue, where my taste buds are, and hold it in my mouth for 10 seconds. That's what I'll do because I don't care if I break my copy of Pokemon Shield. So that is my bet to you, the listener, is that if AZ does not have some significant role in this game, I will suck on my copy of Pokemon Shield for 10 seconds. That is my promise to you.
All right. I think I've exhausted all my questions in terms of like hypotheticals, theories, predictions.
Do you have any just like big random balls of the wall shit to throw out that you have no basis for? That you just like maybe you want to see it, or maybe you're like, what if it's this? Just like
Mega Flygon.
Okay. Sure. Hell yeah.
I do remember people at Game Freak, they were, I don't know if this was like a rumor way back when, but they're like, we just
the design board. They could not agree on a design for fucking Flygon because he
Yes,
would have gotten a Mega Evolution for Orez.
Was
Yeah,
it
but
Orez
Gingy,
or was
you
it
know
even
what
X
could
and Y
happen?
that they started trying?
I think it was Orez.
Okay.
It was Oras because Flygon wasn't in Cali.
Well, yeah, because they didn't come up with a Mega.
Mega Flygon.
Anyway, Gingy.
Yes. Hello.
We could get Mega Flygon X, Mega Flygon Y, and we could get multiple forms.
That would be
move
so
the fuck
funny.
over, Charizard.
That would be so
You're no
funny
longer
if they were
relevant.
like,
we, after 10 years,
sorry, we fucked this up.
we have
10 years
finally
ago.
narrowed it down to these two. We cannot pick, so you get an X and Y form for these for Flygon. I really hope that they expand on the Mega X and Mega Y concept, because as of right now, it's literally just
Charizard and Mewtwo.
Mewtwo and Charizard. Do you think Mewtwo will be accessible in the game because of Mega Evolutions?
100% yes. I don't think there's a single Pokemon that already has a Mega Evolution that won't be in this game. I'm not willing to make any bets about putting any illicit objects in my mouth over it, but I'm fairly confident in that. I feel like if a Pokemon has a Mega already, it's definitely in this game.
Riely.
Yes.
Mega Dunsparce. And
Jesus
it's just
Christ.
10 long fucking lines, like fucking phalanx long.
No, that can't be a Mega Evolution. That's just to be a new Pokemon, so we can call it like Dunsparce.
I feel like phalanx is up for, could possibly have something happen to it as well.
It becomes a full 3-stage evolution line, but every evolution just adds one extra little guy.
No, it takes one away and makes them bigger.
Oh, okay.
Or how about megas
Until the
for,
final one is just one, or it just puts them all together.
how about megas for Aurorus and Tyrantrum?
Yeah, what if Phalanx evolves and it's like a
Ooh.
Megazord?
Like Mega Tyrantrum fucking looks more like Rexy from Jurassic Park. Make it more T-Rexy.
I mean,
I am
it's
excited that
already
those two are
pretty
going to be coming
T-Rexy,
back.
Gingy.
I am excited that those two are going to be back. I really feel like those two are the best paired fossils. I really like their designs, so I'm excited to have them come back because they're going to bring them back.
I'm trying to think if there's any one that I like the set more. Probably not, because I really like them both, but I know I like Tyrant and Tyrantrum way more than I like Aurorus and Amora. Like, Tyrant might be one of,
Yeah.
if not my favorite fossil Pokemon. Amora's like in the top half, but it's not like in the immediate picks for best. So I'm trying to think if there's a set I like better. But I think because I like Tyrant so much and also Aurora is pretty good, I think it probably is the best pair. Because I feel like every other pair, there's one that I like and one that I really don't.
That
Or at
is
least
fair,
that I'm
yeah.
not thrilled with. Like, I know this is sacrilege to say, but like, first of all, to go through the list, I have to start with the first set, which immediately becomes controversial because Kabutops is the one that I like, and Ammonite is fine, but I like Kabutops a lot better. I'm sorry. I know that the Lord Helix stands are coming for me, but that's just the way it is. Did Gen 2 have fossils? No, right?
No, it did not.
No.
Yeah, and then there was Anorith and Laleep, which I guess I like both of those. I think
Granados and Shieldon.
granted, yes, Granados and Shieldon. Not, I actually really like both of those. Maybe that's the best one actually. Because now
Or
I think about, because Granados is my favorite. Now that I think about it, and Shieldon's pretty damn cool too. So maybe I do like that set better. But Tyrant and Moore are up there.
I know there's Turtoga and Archeops with Gen 5.
That's also a really good set. I would say that I'd like Tyrant and Aurora better. And also obviously,
What about the
Granados and
Galar
Shieldon.
fossils? Do you think
What even
give
were
us
those?
complete Galar fossils.
Oh yeah, those
That's what
fucking weird
Dracovish,
That's
ones.
another thing that
Arctovish,
somebody
Dracovolt,
suggested.
and Arctovolt.
Give us the 4 fossils, but complete.
Arctovolt is a fucking abomination. I feel bad for that guy. I think it's Arctovolt's the one, right? Where it's like it's the little electric noodle dragon and he's in a giant block of ice and he seems like he's constantly just freezing.
Yes.
He's I
Yes.
feel so bad for him. Poor guy.
That's another Pokemon that might get an evolution is Lantern.
Oh, that would kick ass. I would
Chinchou and
love to see that
Lantern
line
to
become
a
relevant
electric
again.
water type.
Because that's one of those things where like Eviolite Lantern wouldn't break the game in half, but it would be a pretty fucking cool option to have. And also a new evolution would be a new way to make it that line relevant as well and make that good too. That's one of those Pokemon where
Because that line hasn't been relevant for a while.
and if there's ever, I mean, I'm kind of biased because I'm a stall player a lot of the time. It's funny. I play on two extremes when I play competitive Pokemon. Like I don't very often go in between these two things. I do it. You have to some extent. I do it enough, but usually I'm working towards one of these two conclusions. Either I am stalling you to death, or I am sweeping you to death. So either I'm killing you extremely slowly or extremely quickly, and that is usually how I play. And I do like the killing slowly. It's fun. It's satisfying. And Lantern, I think, is one of those Pokemon that I think is perfect to receive an evolution, both just on its face for having a cool new evolution, and also for giving that Pokemon access to Eviolite, which would also make it itself relevant in a cool new way. Because Lantern right now is just kind of like a just a very middle of the road bulky Pokemon. I think with Eviolite, it would definitely get a pretty big boost in the metagame. And then the new evolution would also probably be pretty good. So it'd be a cool way to have that line relevant in the metagame in more ways than one. I
I
think
do have
that
a request on Lantern's potential evolution.
sure.
It's got to look like that super scary fucking bottom
I
of
was
the
just thinking
ocean
about
deep
that.
anglerfish.
The
Like it's got
anglerfish,
to have like
yes.
giant ass like jaws with giant teeth.
No, I feel like you gotta kind of. I could see them taking elements from that, but Lantern, I feel like in its identity is too like sweet and innocent to go all the way to the other extreme. Like maybe make his teethies a little bit sharp and kind of like give him more like shit on him to make him more intimidating. But I think he's still got to have his goofy fun face at the end of the day because that's Lantern. You can't turn Lantern into something scary. You can turn him into something with scary elements, but at the end of the day, he's still fucking Lantern.
Do you think that they're gonna do something with the unknown in this game? Because there was a heavy emphasis on the unknown in the trailer.
I feel like if they don't, then my theory is right. If they don't, then they scrapped let's go Wooper and Togepi at the last minute because of Pal World, and I was correct the whole time. So I hope the unknown are in it somehow.
What if they do like a mega unknown and it's just all of them put together?
That'd be pretty sick. And the unknown mega evolves and it's just a dictionary.
Now we're getting into like Pokemon Clover type shit.
That game is fun.
One of
I
those
gotta,
games where
I gotta play
you
it
can't compare
myself.
it to anything else. You should do a let's play.
I could do that. I wonder if I can find the level limits anywhere. I would Nuzlocke it, but I have a little bit of the I have a touch of the tism, and I feel weird doing Nuzlocks if I don't know what the level the gyms are going to be. So I would have to find that somewhere. But if that is publicly conveniently findable information, then perhaps I could do it.
I guess Gingy, since you're part of the episode, do you have any predictions that haven't been mentioned already?
Oh, predictions for AZ or
For
ZA, whatever the
ZA,
fuck.
Yes, sir.
do you have any hopes? Any predictions? Any?
I'm
Any
hoping
Pokemon you
it'll
want to
be
see
set in
evolve?
the
Anything
future
that we've
in the
talked about.
timeline where the weapon went off. Because if it's some like urban redevelopment or whatever it was, maybe it's the wreckage of Lumio City after the weapon has been fired.
That's you know what? I didn't even think about that. You're
Ooh.
probably exactly correct.
That's my guess.
Although that would make it the past and not the future.
Motherfucking Gingy over here working for Game Freak, leaking shit on
You see,
Detour ahead.
Gingy is a genius and stupid at the same time because what he described was extremely logically sound, but the result that he described it having is exactly the opposite of what it would be. Like, here's exactly why it would take place in the past, and that's why it would take place in the future.
Well, no, because we know the weapon itself was detrimental and all that shit, catastrophic. So we have no idea what the effects or the after effects of the weapon could be. I mean, shit, look at Chernobyl.
But that
You
would be
still
the
can't fucking go
past.
near. Yes, but the effects can still linger on in the future.
But we've seen the future. The future is X and Y.
Yeah, but we don't know if ZA is going to be the future of X and Y or if it's going to be in the past. We don't know.
I think it's either going to be entirely in the past or it's going to be the theory everybody online has where it's time travel and it's going to be in between a past and the present, which is just going to be not exactly Lumio City as we know it from X and Y, but like basically like revamped, obviously, because they're gonna have to make it much bigger to accommodate what this game is doing. But I think if it is a time travel mechanic, it will be in between past and present Kalos. It will be between a Lumios that is just starting to build up into what we know Lumios as today, and then just Lumio City as we know it today.
You know what's going to be. It's going to be your trainer character from Legends Arceus. You finally complete the Pokédex. You fucking beat Arceus himself. And
Does
then
this
you
mean I can
finally
go
get,
home?
Hold on. No. You finished all that shit. You beat up Arceus. And so Arceus like, congratulations, child. You have done what you're supposed to do. Now, get the fuck out. Go back to your own time. And so you get home, right? You're super tired. You're telling your loved ones this super fucking weird ass story you did. You hooked up with some ancient women and fucking you see the light again. And now Arceus is like, hey, now I need to send you over here.
I thought you were going a different place with that because for those of you who don't know, X and Y, X and Y and ORAS are, and I guess Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon also, are within their own like pocket timeline within the Pokemon series, because, or at least I still think this is how it works because Pokemon is kind of bad at keeping its own lore up. But as I understand it, there is the mega timeline and the non-mega timeline, and the split between those timelines is whether or not the weapon goes off, because the weapon goes off and that creates mega evolution. So in the games where mega evolution does not exist, they take place in the timeline where the weapon did not go off. So what I thought you were about to say is Arceus sends him back to the present, and he's like, "Oh man, what a rough adventure I just had." And then he sees a fucking Mega Scizor on the TV, and he's like, "What the fuck is that thing?" And then he's been thrust into the Mega timeline, and now he's like, "What are all these Mega Pokemon? What the fuck?" He's got to figure it out.
I would like to say real
see.
quick.
Oh, go ahead.
So your two main characters in Legends Arceus show up in modern day clothes, right? Did you guys see this at all on Twitter?
Yeah.
If you pick the male character, the shirt he has on, just a plain white t-shirt with a logo on it, is the same one you start off with in Kalos, and the female character starts off with an Alola t-shirt.
So here's a mega I'd like to see, right?
Sure.
Because we already have one. I'd like to see the pair. I would like a Mega Frostlass. Can we get a Mega Frostlass to match Mega Glalie?
Ooh. Okay. I like that.
That's a good, that's an interesting one for sure. Trying to think of other megas that might be cool.
This means Sharpedo is coming back. Oh shit, I love Sharpedo.
Or
hell yeah.
With the return of Mega Evolution, can we get a Mega Yveltal and a Mega Xerneas?
It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I guess
watch Xerneas turn into the fucking Great Deku Tree.
I doubt it because they've never been that obvious with what they were doing with the legendaries, because like they didn't Mega Evolve the first time. And usually when they do fun shit with the legends, it's something unique. Like in ORAS, they didn't just give Groudon and Kyogre megas; they made up fucking primal forms. So I don't think Yveltal and Xerneas are going to get megas. I think they are going to get forms of some persuasion that are not megas.
Do you think the forms are going to be like a combined with Zygarde kind of form?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Like a
Gen 5 and 7 with. Ooh, yeah, that does sound good.
I feel like they'd be treading too far on what they've got to do in the future, though.
Honestly, they're bringing back megas. Like
I'm kind of pissed this isn't. Everybody wanted this to be Unova, and I'm kind of pissed it's not to some degree, because I want Legends Unova so bad, because there's like a whole lore point that we just never get to see, and that being that Qrem, Zekrom, and Reshiram used to be one guy. Like, I want to see that guy. I want Legends.
The original
Qrem.
Dragon.
Yes. Maybe in Gen 10.
I do think that they're going to do something with the box legendaries, though. I really do. Just because they did with, like, they gave origin forms to Dialga and Palkia. They gave primal forms to Groudon and Kyogre, and gave... Ooh, that means Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza are going to come back as well.
Maybe Rayquaza.
Possibly.
Yeah.
They could do like a Delta episode, kind of, with Mega Rayquaza. Because if we're talking about Megas coming back, then that means Mega Rayquaza might get left out, and people are going to be upset about that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they left the legendaries out, the couple of legendaries.
Honestly,
or I guess it would just be
I wouldn't
Rayquaza
be
because
upset if they did.
I think the only what other legendaries have megas besides Rayquaza and Mewtwo? Because Mewtwo's going to be in the game because Mewtwo has 2 of them. So,
Diancie.
yeah, but that's a mythical
Diancie's
though.
got a Mega.
It's a mythical though.
You know. Ooh, what if they do a Mega Mew?
You know? Oh, that'd be cool.
What if they do a Mega Mew?
That'd be sick.
Where its tail turns into like a DNA spiral.
Ooh, look at you designing.
I got the alcohol running through me, so now I got all these creative ideas going.
Has Mew ever mattered? Once?
No.
I would like for Mew to matter.
Take us back to the Kanto region. Legends Mew.
Let's fucking go! I feel like an ancient Kanto would probably be pretty rad, actually. As much as everybody would be like, "Oh, it's Kanto again," it'll be Kanto again as much as Hisui is Sinnoh again, which most people seem to agree. It's
what if they completely?
So ancient Kanto.
What if they
would be
took
rad.
Kanto and was like? What if they took Kanto and was like, here's a past form of every single Pokemon. Go have fun. Like the past Paradox Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, but they just completely redid the entire first generation of Pokemon.
Interesting. Interesting positive idea that you have there.
Anyway, I think are we good? Are we done?
I think so.
Or do you guys have anything else that you would like to say?
I think we can get on out of here unless Ginger Nald has any closing thoughts.
Mega Flygon. Enough's enough.
There we go.
Mega Flygon.
I really hope they've had 10 years? They've had almost a full decade.
Right. Also, Niantic, give Breaking Swipe to Flygon, you fucking heathens. Anyway, that's it.
What,
Mega Flygon and Breaking Swipe Flygon in Pokemon.
The game comes out and you talk to an NPC and the NPC is like, hey, I found this cool Megastone. I hear if you make your Flygon hold it, something cool might happen. And she goes to give it to you, and then a text box appears in the game, and it's just like, we're sorry, we tried, we fucked it up again.
I'm about to John Wick fucking
does not
everybody.
want to Mega Evolve.
If my Flygon tries to tell me,
we're sorry, we tried,
I don't
we
want
fucked it
to
up
Mega
again.
Evolve. Like, I don't give a fuck. You don't get consent. You will Mega Evolve.
We're sorry, we tried, we fucked it up again, and we.
Well, if you're stuck between two designs, take the idea from Alex.
Our development was rushed, so we couldn't even take this NPC out of the game. We didn't have time, so sorry. Fuck you.
Oh, the internet's gonna be on fire if they fucking did that.
I will say, another one people want to see, because a lot of the other pseudo-legendaries got Megas, Mega Dragonite.
There are fun things to be done with a Mega Dragonite, as much as I feel like giving a pseudo a Mega Evolution is pretty redundant, I would say. Like, Mega Metagross is cool and all, but like, I feel like, Spindo over there might need a little love. Like, I feel like it was redundant to give a pseudo a Mega Evolution.
I will say, I don't think is Spinda on the Switch at all.
He has to be. Anything Gen 4 or prior is on Switch, because BDSP was national up to Gen 4. Every Pokemon up to Gen 4 was coded into BDSP, so yes.
Outside of BDSP.
Outside of BDSP, probably not. BDSP counts. Just because it was bad doesn't mean it doesn't count, everybody. TSA.
Spinda has not been on Riely.
Yes.
Spinda has not been on the Switch outside of BDSP.
Well,
at all.
that information is silly and irrelevant because BDSP counts.
I feel like I feel like Spinda is deserving of the spotlight a little bit.
I wouldn't be mad at it, for sure. I was just pulling that out as an example of a Pokemon they could have given a Mega instead of Metagross, because giving a Pseudo a Legend was irrelevant, or irrelevant, is overkill. I think I was looking for another word that sounded a little more similar to irrelevant, but I couldn't figure it out. So overkill is the word I went with. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a million Pokemon that could be better, so there's plenty of well to be pulled from for potential megas and forms and such.
Absolutely. And hopefully we get a little bit more information. The other frustrating thing is there was no gameplay in this trailer whatsoever.
Oh yeah, not even a touch.
It's an announcement trailer. That's it. That's all it was.
We didn't even see
No
one
gameplay,
solitary
no
thing from the
information or
game.
anything.
At least in the X and Y teaser, we saw a 3D model of Fletchling. We didn't even see one solitary thing for the video game.
That's what I was going to bring up. Do you think they're going to bring roller skating back?
I doubt it, because this game is either going to be partially or fully placed in the past. So I don't know if they're gonna
What if
slap
it's a
roller skates
past
on
version
you.
of the roller
But it
skates?
could be.
Like an NPC guy was like, "Yo, I just
I just
put wheels
invented
on
this cool
shoes, bro."
thing. You want to try this cool
It's a
thing I
possibility
invented?
because it's the only game with roller skates. Roller skates were literally like
Dude, that would be.
exclusive to Kalos.
I would give them so much credit. They would get so much points from me if they made that like a bit in the game. If it was Ancient Kalos and you come to this NPC and he was like, "Bro, I just invented some cool ass shit," and it's roller skates.
I
You
put
meet
wheels on shoes. That's it. Just wheels on shoes. I
Wheels
call
on
them
shoes.
roller shoes. Wheels on shoes. I hope roller skating comes back because I thought that was a really cool mechanic compared to just running around. It was a
Funnily
nice
enough, it
change of
seems like
pace.
the community largely disagrees with you, but I'm in your corner. I think skating was fucking cool. I don't know why people didn't like
I
it.
thought it was cool. It broke up the monotony of running and biking around on everything. Now, do
I
you
guess
think we're going to be
I
able to
guess it
ride
was
on
probably
Pokemon?
just like the efficiency crowd where they were just like the bike is faster, so these are irrelevant to me.
Oh, fuck you. I want cool ass shit. I want wheels on shoes.
Yeah, because who doesn't want wheels on shoes? That's
I
my
hope
I
we
just
get
want to
the
question.
be able to
option
sit down
to
on the benches again. Sit down benches.
just sit there, contemplate life.
Exactly.
All right. I think we're grasping at straws at this point. So,
Yeah,
Riely,
new Pokemon release cycle, boys. Get hyped. That's the moral of the story.
it's hype season.
Get ready, boys. If there is, oh, here's something we can go around the horn and do real quick. If you don't mind going a little bit longer. There have been many have posited. You posited this possibility earlier, Alex. I've seen Centro Leaks posit this possibility. And we all know that guy. He knows his stuff. If there is a game in 2024, what do you think it might be? If there is a
I
game
feel
for
like that just
2024 they
goes
haven't
back to the
revealed yet.
original theories of what they were going to announce.
Okay, so you still
It's
think
either a Johto or a
it'll be
Unova.
that? Okay, bro.
I
They're just.
still really
It
wish.
would be so funny if
Go ahead.
if they have Ilka Black and White ready to go, and they're just like, let's not reveal it yet. Let's reveal the cool thing first.
That is fair because I'm pretty sure
Please don't.
didn't they reveal both at the same time last time?
They did. They're like, we know people didn't like the last one, but like, it's so cheap and easy, and it will make money. So like, we had Ilka
They're
do
like,
it
look, we're paying
again.
Ilka half of what we pay our employees. All right, it gives you a game to fucking play for a couple months while we work out the kinks in Legends ZA. All right. Once
mean-
Legends comes out, you can take your ultra black and super white and just toss it aside. Come play our game, the Game Freak game.
I mean, I don't
Fuck
remember
Ilka.
if it was this show I said it on, or if it was even a show, or if it was a private conversation. But I think that at the end of the day, if we did get Ilka black and white, it wouldn't be as bad as everybody's saying. Because the reason BDSP kind of registers poorly is because Diamond and Pearl are kind of inherently flawed products. Black and white are
I'll still
nowhere
play it. I'm
near
still gonna buy it.
yeah, and just to say, black and white are nowhere near as inherently flawed as Diamond and Pearl are. They could just hand us black and white unchanged, and it would still be good. The reason why BDSP didn't play right is because you cannot hand somebody Diamond and Pearl in 2024 and have it be good, because it's fundamentally flawed. But I think all those fundamental flaws were ironed out by
Not
black
just
and white.
that, but like you can't
You could
go
hand
from
the
Sword and
only
Shield.
thing you could hand a kid if you handed a kid a black and white right now, the only thing they would complain about is the old graphics. So if you just take black and white, put new graphics on it, but it's exactly the same, I guarantee you it'll still be a good product. People will be disappointed because it's not going to be as cool as adding shit and stuff. But I don't think it'll be nearly as much of a failure as BDSP was, where people will pretty quickly be like, okay, like this isn't. We wish it was more, but
BDSP
like
was
this
a
is good.
failure just because it was released after Sword and Shield. It was put in the chibi style. If they put it in the 3D style and kept everything else the same, just made it 3D Sinnoh, that game would have outsold anything. It would have outsold Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I think the chibi style is generally the long way to go. Like as much as I think it just made it a lot easier. I mean, the chibi art style just
It
kind
was
of
also
came with what
Ilka's
they were
like first chance at making a Pokemon
because
game too, so I
they
feel
were
like
porting Diamond and Pearl over directly, which is something that you would have difficulty doing if you had a whole fleshed out 3D world with fully sized characters. Whereas if you're just doing little chibi guys, it's roughly still the same scale as it was, so it's easier to do. That's why it was chibi. And if it's Ilka and it's black, I bet it will be chibi again.
I'll still buy it. That's basically what it comes down to. Is like you could give Pokemon to the smallest developer in the world, one guy working in his basement, and be like, make this game, make it better. And he does it in like 3 years, and then they release it, and everybody shits on it. I'll still buy it. I'm still gonna play it until
I
I get bored with it
still
or the next game comes out. But you know,
I don't remember what I
that's the thing
still.
about Pokemon. See, that's the thing about Pokemon fans is you could give them absolute dog shit, and they'll still buy it. They'll
That's
shit
true.
all over your game,
Even the people
but they will
fucking
still fucking buy the game.
100%, 100% of the people who complain about fucking Scarlet and Violet all the time have Scarlet and Violet. I fucking promise you. Maybe not 100%, but definitely like 95.
Yeah, you saw the open world trailer, and you're like, "Fuck that game. That's not Pokemon. That's not real Pokemon." Game gets released. Well, I might as well buy it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Pokemon. Duh.
It's Pokemon. If Pokemon released more games, people would be very picky about the games they bought. But Pokemon only releases one a year. So you might as well fucking play the goddamn fucking Pokemon game. That's why BDSP has good sales. It's because people just needed that Pokemon fix. They couldn't wait till Legends Arceus came out.
Well, Pokemon fans need to calm the fuck down because they need
They're the
time.
most spoiled, rotten pieces of shit in the gaming world are Pokemon fans. Me included. Like,
You say
I'm
that,
not gonna
although
like
I feel like it's a pretty universal consensus at this point. Maybe I'm wrong. Like I deal with a lot of toxic Pokemon fans. I see a lot of them. I feel like at this point it's kind of almost a unified, an entirely unified opinion that Pokemon needs to fucking cool it with the development time, because it's obvious there were some loose ends that needed to be tied in the last few releases. that we're not.
Yeah.
So I think at
That
this
is
point,
true. Like if Pokemon comes out and tells us we have to wait till the end of November of 2025 for Legends ZA, I'm gonna be upset because I'm so used to this every year, once a year, every year with them. But I'm also gonna be like, you know what? If you take these 2 years, I know you have the game pretty much ready to go. Maybe not released tomorrow, ready to go, but like at least 40% done. But like, I want that shit 120% done at this point, just because of just like the way these past few games have played. There's so many graphical errors, and like especially in Scarlet and Violet, when like if you're shiny hunting with the mass outbreaks or whatever they're called now,
yeah, Scarlet and Violet
if it's
were.
up against a wall, hold on. If it's up against like a cliffside, the Pokemon will spawn inside the cliffside. And you could miss shinies because of that. And that was one of the big reasons why people were pissed about the game.
Yeah, Legends
Let alone
Arceus.
the game breaking things where you go into a wall with you while riding Koraidon, and you're just stuck there and your game you have to reset your game. Like that's the kind of those are the kind of things that Game Freak really needs to focus on and like really polish this game out and get it released.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's probably pretty likely this is a Switch 2 game. Because I think Scarlet and Violet really was just they didn't know what they were it's not that the software isn't software. The hardware rather is not capable of more. It's rather that the developers do not have the skill set to make it do more. Like the Switch can be pushed to limits. Like there are there is a way for Pokemon Scarlet. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are games that could exist and not be buggy on the Switch if they were created by a company who really, if they were first party games, basically. If Nintendo in house were making them, I could see Scarlet and Violet existing without all the bugs that they have. But Game Freak is not a massive studio, and it's a studio that has always gone for more gameplay than Flash. So when they made Scarlet and Violet and they were really trying to make a big high scope experience, they kind of had a couple of kinks trying to make that work with their knowledge of how to make software for the hardware. So I think they really could stand to just have a boost because I think it is like they always try to push it to the limit around the end of a console's life cycle or at the end as it has been the last couple times. Like I think Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon pushed the 3DS to like the very bounds of what it can do. I think Scarlet and Violet was trying to do that, and I think it succeeds in some aspects. But their ambition resulted in a lot of kinks, so that's why I feel like it probably is likely they're switching to Switch 2. Because if Switch 2 dev kits were out, they would be like, oh yeah, man. Like we tried to blow Scarlet and Violet out of the water, but this hardware is a little bit hard to make do stuff like that. So give us the new one with more chips in it, please.
How are you going to get your hands on a Switch 2 when I'm sure the projected price is closer to four to $500?
I'm going to not have one probably for the first couple of years and be sad. Is probably
Which means no Pokemon for the first few years.
I'll find a way to play it. I'll have a friend with one.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you feel bad for Riely being poor and you would like to donate to the Detour Ahead Patreon to get Riely a Switch 2,
I mean, if
head
our
over
life
to
plan,
patreon.com/Detour Ahead. 50% of all your donations go to Riely, 50% go to me. But who knows? maybe 100% will go to Riely if the Switch 2 gets released and Riely
Hey,
can't play Pokemon on it.
I mean, if current plans end up going through as planned, perhaps I'll just bum off your Switch too.
Do you think I'm going to buy a Switch 2 day one?
You probably pretty close. You're gonna want that Pokemon game. And you see,
Look, I just spent
I'm not saying
Riley.
yes.
I just spent $1,000 on utility bills and rent, and I still have like $700 left to fuck around with for the next week. So I'm definitely going to get the Switch 2 day one when well, maybe not day one, but like within the first month that it gets released.
Hey Alex,
So,
can I have $20?
you want $20?
Can I have $20? You got $700 lying around after paying all your bills. You want to throw a boy a 20? A cold 2-0.
What's the 24? I'll do to you what I yeah. What's the 24?
There's nothing. There's no $20 in particular thing I want. I heard that you had a large amount of money, and I thought that maybe if I asked for a relatively small amount of money, you would just say yes to throw your dick around. That was my strategy there.
I mean, I never said no, but you got to do something for me. That's how this works.
What do you want me to do for this $20, Alex?
$5 per YouTube video until you hit 20, and then no more. Everything's free after that.
What, you want me to make
That seems
YouTube
fair.
videos?
No, you make YouTube videos with me. I'm running out of shit. I got like maybe.
Yeah,
I got till
fine.
I got till the 16th to get videos out. I got to buy myself some time.
Of course I could do that.
$20 is the limit. So, however you want to split that up, you could either do
we have
a whole
to decide
bunch of
the number
videos
of
for
videos.
$20.
We have to decide the number of videos in advance because Alex like autistically insists on paying me per individual video during the session that like we record all of them at once, but in between. It's like we're like, okay, we're gonna do 6 videos. So like after every video, we have to stop so you can PayPal me like $4 or whatever the fuck.
Exactly. That's how that works. You got to work for the money. I don't give handouts, Riely. I don't do handouts. Handouts are dumb. You got to work for your.
Understandable.
Or you got to make really stupid snake bets with me to get $5.
You want a redemption arc? Quadruple or nothing?
Quadruple or nothing. Fuck off. How many attempts do I get? Do I get 4 attempts
you get 4
since it's
attempts.
quadruple or nothing?
4 times as many attempts for 4 times the money.
I mean, I can't argue with that. That's
sound logic.
That seems like a steal.
Offer can't be beat. Holy shit, we're still doing a podcast, huh? Let's maybe work towards not doing that anymore. Didn't we already like start plugging and shit? Like 20
we
minutes
didn't plug
ago?
anything. I plugged the Patreon.
Oh yeah, you did like a transition to the plugging the Patreon, and then that transition didn't quite work out. Gingy, our special guest, where can they find you on the
Transitions
internet?
never work out with you because you always have stupid shit to keep talking about.
Fuck you, Gingy internet. Where? Find you.
You can find Raging Gingy
Oh, did he leave?
on Twitter at Raging Gingy, or with 2 G's, I think. Ragging Gingy.
Good old Ragging.
You can also
Gingy.
find Raging Gingy on his podcast, Pixels, Polygons, and Fun.
I hear there's another guy who hosts that show who's extremely handsome. I don't know much about this guy, but I hear he's extremely handsome and sexy and funny. And you should listen to the podcast because that guy is pretty cool. That other guy that's on there. I don't remember what his name was, but I just know he's super sexy and cool. Yeah, that's the one. That's who I was thinking of, I think. Alex, where can they find you?
If you haven't already been listening, you can find me on the Colochu YouTube channel. That's COLOCHU. You can also find me on Twitter at Kolochu54. And that's pretty much it.
Folks.
Coming up soon, you can also find me on the Dickheads podcast with Riely.
Whoa, yes, that's true. Join us, listeners, this Sunday-ish probably for the return of the Dickheads podcast. It's going to be so exciting. Me and Alex, we're going to talk about the Dick Show there and not here anymore. It's so exciting and great. And if you like the Dick Show, you should listen to it. And folks, where can you find that show? You can find it on the Riely Podcast mega feed. Now, where can you find the Riely Podcast mega feed? That's a good question. Well, the answer is a whole lot of places. But if you want a convenient little link to just type into your URL browser and access that along with all the other shit I have, you can go to linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. And it's got links to all the things that I do, including the Riely Podcast mega feed, which will contain the Dickheads podcast, and the Issue Crew, which has inducted some new members recently. We've got some new blood. It's been a while since such a thing has occurred. One of those members you just heard on the podcast for about 5 sentences collectively. And the other one you heard on the podcast like 20 episodes ago or whatever. It's Gingy and Kang. Gingy and Kang have joined the Issue Crew. Exciting. A new era is upon us. We're thrusting into the future with our new friends.
See,
And
if you didn't record super fucking late during the week, I would join as well. But like, you record at like 9 p.m. on Mondays,
I was even
right?
yes, yeah. We'd have to. I don't know. Maybe someday.
You'd have to bump it up to at least 7
Yeah, we'd have to figure out
in order
scheduling
for
there.
me to come on. In order for me to come on, or do it like Saturday, a couple days early. But that gets dicey with that many people.
Yeah. We could talk about it. But for now, we got Gingy and Kang, and of course me and Mo Diggity and Random Candor, and Andrew is away also. As always, we are here to talk about issues. And it's going to be a great time. And you can listen to that and so much more found at linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. And that's the show, folks. Thank you for listening. We love you. Thank you for coming out to the show tonight, folks. Goodbye.